邓布利多，你说的对，爱是世界上最伟大的魔法，科学解释不了的就交给爱吧。刷到一外国小伙上班途中的真实经历，电梯停到3楼，上来一名孕妇，并主动上前搭话。
And I looked at her, like you about to pop. And she said, me and my husband just went to the doctor's yesterday for an emergency visit. She said, because I haven't felt the baby move in about 4 or 5 days. And she said, when you start talking to me, the baby started jumping. And I said, well, thank God. I said, that's a good thing. And, you know, I always crack jokes. So I said, yeah, I have that effect on people. She looked at me. She's like, no, like, seriously, my baby is kicking crazy right now ever since I started talking to you. I said, well, we gonna pray that it continues to kick. And then I got to my stop. I got off, went about my day.
45分钟后，没想到再次相遇。
But she was coming to me. She came to me and I said, what, the baby missed me? And she said, when you got off the elevator, my baby stopped kicking. I said, really? She said, yes. And she said, now that I'm talking to you again, my baby's kicking. I said, maybe your baby like me. I said, what is a boy or girl? And she said, it's a girl.
知道宝宝是女孩后，并好奇地问叫什么名字。
And I said, what are you naming her? And she said, Amy. And I dropped my head and I was trying to fight tears. I was really trying not to cry at work in front of this lady. And she said, what's wrong? And I said, my mom's name was Amy. She died 5 years ago to breast cancer. And she said, what? I said, yeah. I said, she spelled it A-M-I-E. And she said, that's the way we're spelling her name. I literally had to go to the bathroom and just bawling. Like, she said, I'm going to speak with my husband. She said, but do you have any god kids? And I said, no, I don't. And she said, would you like one? And I was like, yeah.
爱是天时地利的迷信，时空是个圆圈，直行或是转弯，我们最终都会相见。